What's up, college basketball fans? Welcome back to another BMOC College Basketball Conference Tournament Preview. Today we're taking a look at the Patriot League getting going Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. Obviously, this is another conference where the higher seed is going to host. And how about the Raiders at Colgate? They are the number one seed in the Patriot League. And that's kind of new. I mean, last couple of years, what's it been, Andy? It's been Bucknell the last couple of years with.
I think at least 2, if not 3 years in a row. And honestly, Bucknell really they screwed the pooch here. In the last month, they lost to Holy Cross, they lost to American, they lost to Navy. No shame in losing to Colgate. Like it was I think it was a close match there. But I mean, they barely beat Army. I mean, they really had control of this league in late January, and this February swoon, it cost them the regular season title. And regular season title is a big deal, because if they do end up meeting in the final, they will play at Colgate.
And that's kind of big news here, because you look at – that's a great point by you. Bucknell really bottled it late in the season. You look at Colgate, they win their final 8 games. And, I really want to shout out to the coach at Colgate, Matt Langle, former Fran Dunphy associate here at Temple. He was a great assistant there, and he's done some great stuff up in Hamilton. Colgate known for their toothpaste, not exactly their basketball team, but this team is really good. And, I really want to shout out I'm a big player guy. I like to shout out guys that are playing at a really high level. And if you know anything about Colgate, Jordan Burns and Will Raymond are kind of the 2 guys there. But I think the key to this season has been the emergence. And, Andy, listen to this. Since February 2nd, okay, when they started their 8-game win streak, do you know what's kind of interesting? Since that date, February 2nd, Rapolis Ivanauskas, the Lithuanian, the 6'10 sophomore, he has had double figures in every game. He has been integral to the success of this basketball team, because what they have is, with Jordan Burns, they have a really good guard. Will Raymond's a terrific 3. They have Rapolis Ivanauskas to clean up, to get buckets around the rim. They're just a really solid basketball team. They play with a really good pace. Listen, I know there's Bucknell, and I know Lehigh, and we'll get into those 2 teams. But for me, I'm going to stick with Colgate. They have been really good. They're at home throughout this tournament. They're the favorite, and I think they should be. That 3 trifecta there is really good. I'm going to let you give out your pick. You mentioned 4 teams. I'm going to be honest. To me, I think there's only one other team that I really believe can win this conference. Lehigh, I love. I love Jordan Cohen. I just can't get behind them enough defensively. They're going to have to play Bucknell, a team they couldn't beat in the regular season. And to beat Lehigh, what you have to do is defend the 3-point shot. Lehigh, number 1 in the country in 3-point percentage. Bucknell, terrific from there. I think this just sets up Colgate, Bucknell, for all the marbles. Who do you like in this conference? Who's your sleeper? Do you like Colgate? What do you like here?
Yeah, I mean, you hit on it. I'm a Lehigh guy. Just their offensive efficiency numbers, like you said, the 3-point shooting. You just never know in these. It's one-off games. These are single elimination tournaments. It's all going to be that way for basketball. You get somebody get hot from 3, all of a sudden you're looking at Lehigh taking out Bucknell, because I absolutely believe Lehigh can take out Bucknell. And I don't think Army. I don't think Army's a great matchup as far as that. I think Lehigh definitely makes it to the semifinals. Bucknell should have a pretty easy. Although they did lose to Holy Cross, and Holy Cross doesn't have the worst metrics. They just kind of they've had a down year. I think they won the league 3 or 4 years ago. They've kind of been on a slide here, I guess. I haven't followed them too closely just because they've been so bad. But yeah, Lehigh would be a bit of a dark horse. I have some good numbers for American, but that's too tough of a path, I think, trying to take out Navy and then going right to Colgate's. So I think I might have to throw out the 4 teams that could win this. It probably is just the 3. And if you got a decent number on Lehigh, I wouldn't hate that. But yeah, if you get Colgate in the final, they're riding a 10-game win streak at that point. And I don't know how much you submit that kind of heat.
Yeah, you mentioned Lehigh, and I think one thing that, if you're not in this area, you don't live on the East Coast, you might not know Lehigh Bucknell is a big time rivalry. It's up in the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania. Lehigh and Bethlehem. Both these teams really close. They don't like each other. That's going to be a great game in the semifinals if we get it, or the quarterfinals. And look, I don't hate the pick. Lehigh was a team that I had a few times this year. The problem I have with Lehigh is A, their defensive numbers at times are poor. And B, they're just kind of inconsistent. You look at towards the end of the season, I mean, just kind of alternated wins and losses. Had a bad loss on Saturday against Loyola, Maryland, give up 92 in that game. Just a hideous defensive performance. And, they're going to have to play really well offensively for a few nights in a row, which on the road is always tough. But, yeah, look, it's Colgate's world. I think we're all just living in it. They're playing terrific right now. It's really what the kind of team you want. Keep in mind also, see what the status is with Pat Andrew for Lehigh. He's one of their better players. He sat out the last 2 games. Don't know what's going on with that injury, but he is an important player for them. He's one of their better bigs, real kind of crafty junior around the rim. So keep an eye out for that. But I'll go Colgate as my favorite. Sleeper, I'm not sure I really have one. I think your American point was kind of interesting. I thought Mike Brennan's team played pretty well this year. I mean, at times. They beat Bucknell. They had some decent spots. Bill Carmody's Holy Cross is always interesting, but I just don't think they could put 2 and 2 together and win 3 or 4 games here. Any number on BU? Did you look at them at all? They were always kind of an interesting team. BU, they always have some decent success.
Yeah, I think Holy Cross with the coaching and the success that program's had, you can't count them. I mean, they've just had a bad year. They've had a down year. But I mean, some of the numbers that they have in my stats here, I don't know why my model likes them so much. They do have some decent defensive efficiency, but yeah, outside of Lehigh, I think that's probably my only long shot. If you got a decent number on them, I wouldn't be afraid to bet that one. And then it's such a shitty February. I mean, that's the path. If Lehigh takes out Army, they go to Bucknell, like you said, rivalry game. And they're not – it's not like they're far off in the standings. I think Bucknell's a game or 2 better in the standings. Like, that'll be a really good 3-2 match, and I think anything can happen there. And if you get Lehigh in the final on a big number, I'm loving that right away.
Yeah, that game up at Lehigh, I might look to go up to that game. I don't live too far away. That might be a good game to go to. But yeah, we'll see. Bill Carmody, 18 years at Holy Cross. He's been there a long time. But yeah, I'll go Colgate. I think we agree there. You kind of like Lehigh if you get a good number. I'm going to stick with Bucknell. I like what they have personnel-wise, and I think they're well coached. I think they'll find a way against Bucknell for the 3rd time this year. That is it. Patriot League. How about that? What
do you make the seed? Yeah. What do you? Let's say Colgate takes it. What do you think? 13, 14 seed? Are we looking at that for all of these, kind of in that area?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think 14 is interesting. I think that would be a good seed for them. I want to say they are a 14. I have to look. I know our friend Joe Lenardi and all the other guys, they kind of throw those out. I would say 14. And I think they're an interesting team if they can find a way, because they are a team, like I said, that have different ways they can win. But Lenardi has them as a 16, which I think is a bit low. I don't know. I think 15 is probably the lowest I would go on them. But I'll tell you what, it would be interesting to see them play Virginia or something. They're kind of almost a mini version, if you will, a little bit. But yeah, I'll kind of wonder about that. I think 14 is probably about as high as I'd go for them, and I could see them, pulling something against a 3 or even a 2, maybe make it interesting. We always have it now where we can't say that one seed never loses anymore. We can't. No. It's the first year. We can't say that anymore. And you look at all these 16s. You're a guy that studies these conferences, these low levels. I mean, Sam Houston's a good basketball team. They're a great cover team. Colgate. When you're getting into the SWAC and like the MEAC, those are going to be tough. They usually get iced in the first game. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Colgate lands. There you have it. Patriot League. We agree on both so far. But I got to tell you, Big South coming up next, Andy. And I'll tell you what, I think there's a few different teams that could win this tournament. We'll get into that one next. Make sure, as always, you like and subscribe. Also comment. And if you're new around here, make sure you join us on every video so you don't miss it. All 32 previews, one spot, here with the Big Man on campus. He's Andy. I'm Big Man. We'll see you next time when we do this one more time.